So I haven't vlogged in a very long time. Why is that, you may ask? Well, I will explain that throughout the majority of this vlog and really explain what I plan to do from here on out. It's not just a vlog channel anymore. This can be an outlet for me to tell my thoughts of anything that I have in mind. Any videos that I do for videography will be on this channel. And also just really anything that I feel God leading me to do. I do want to expound upon those things. So what exactly do I mean by that? I haven't vlogged in a while because I didn't want to take too much time up from my pay up channel. I was really wanting to focus on that and grow and expound upon that because I wanted to have a YouTube channel. I just wanted to be a YouTuber. That was my dream job. It still is a dream job for me, but it doesn't mean I'm going to pursue it. I don't believe that's what God has in mind for me. And that's the main reason why I actually stopped pay up. Our last video, it's been a couple months since we've done our last one. And really I got convicted about it by spending too much time worrying about that channel when I could have been doing stuff better in my walk with God, and I thought about that, so I stopped doing pay up because I got very convicted about it. I got very depressed because it wasn't growing, and I was like so confused as to why and all this stuff, but that doesn't matter now. And also for my Devote 101 podcast, that was an outlet where I wanted to have small devotions, 30 or 40 minute episodes every week. That was my dream. That was my goal to set for it. That's what made it so difficult, was the fact that I wasn't able to focus on that as much because I was focusing on my other two channels. And now I have stopped doing pay up videos, though I really enjoyed them. The editing process I love. I love editing videos. I love putting them together. I love videography overall. If that could be my full-time job, I would be totally fine with it, but the question I asked God is like, so what do you want me to do with my life? Because I know you've called me. I'm not exactly sure what particular type of ministry you've called me to, but I'm here. I'm willing to listen. And so the way I started was just focusing hardcore on Devote 101. And I've only had one episode come out since then, but it's just very difficult to get to meet up with people because my guests that I like to invite on there, it's hard to find time to meet up with them because they have busy lives as well. But I'm more active and pursuing it more now. That was the first thing that I decided to focus on very, very intently, was the Devote 101, and then whenever God and so whatever else God would open up for me to go through, I would be willing to go through it. And He is working on my ministry. I'm working on my ministry with Him. Not sure if it is to be a preacher or not, but God's called me to do something, and I'm willing to do whatever it is. If anyone ever wants to have a Bible study with me, I'm willing to do that. If anyone's ever willing to do a podcast with me, anyone's ever willing to just have a friendly relationship with me, I'm willing to do all those things. I'm driving to school right now, and it actually gives me more time to talk to God. I haven't been taking advantage of this. I've just been like playing music or listening to like stupid podcasts, talking about pointless stuff. I never really like focused on it, took advantage of it, and I always complain because I didn't have enough time to talk to God, because I'm like, I don't ever have a chance, or I'm making excuses really. I don't really have a chance to just sit down and talk to God. And Brother AJ Holloway, great man of God, he came to our church this past weekend, and I very much enjoyed what he had to say, because we had a hyphen session on Saturday where he just talked to us, answered questions and stuff like that. He didn't like to call it a Q&A. He called it a Q&R because he said we don't have all the answers for. He said he doesn't want us thinking that they have all the answers for our questions in our life. You know, we may have to find those ourselves. And so he calls it a Q&R because that means the question and response. He doesn't have all the answers. He don't want everybody thinking he has all the answers. He just responds to our questions on what basically his experience or what he believes that is necessary or stuff like that. And he talked about, or really his wife talked about, you know, some of us may not have all the time in the world to just get to pray. And we gotta take advantage for the time that we do have. So like for instance, like if you just get a chance to just say something to God while you're like washing the dishes, or if you're driving in your car, you can have a prayer room. Your prayer room's up here. Yes, you can have an actual physical prayer room, but your actual prayer room is up here. And I got to thinking about that. I'm like, you know, that's actually so true. So actually the week before they came, and then this week most definitely, anytime I get in the car by myself, even though I should be doing it right now, is just taking a time to pray to God and literally just talk to Him. It doesn't have to be so extreme, so extravagant. I don't have to speak fluently. I literally just talk to God pretty much like I'm talking to you right now. So, and that's all it has to, and that's all it can be. You don't have to sound impressive. That's not the whole point. We're not trying to impress God with our words. We're just talking to Him as a friend, and He legitimately is a friend. He has spoken to me so many ways, and this is a part where I guess I can start talking about my experience in the ministry so far. Even though I really have just started, the Lord has already like shown me things, and this stuff isn't a joke. So what I mean by that is my youth pastor asked me to preach at one of the youth services that we have at our church every Wednesday. And I said yes, I would absolutely love to do that. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. He just told me get a message together, let me know when you're ready. And I was like, okay. So I asked God that night. I was like, okay, God, I have no idea what I need to talk about. You know, put something on my heart, speak to me in the way that you speak to me, and just let me know what you want me to talk about. And then literally the next day I was talking to my grandfather about stuff, and he was just telling me about this generation that we have to deal with and stuff like that. And he pretty much just gave me the word right then. He gave me the title and everything, and told me, and basically that was God telling me that's what you need to talk about with the young generation, because my grandfather is 72 years old, I believe. But if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, Papa. But he is most definitely what you would say an elder in the church, and he, seeing what this young generation has to deal with, he sees what they didn't have to deal with, what we have to deal with nowadays. And so he just gave me a thought, and I expounded upon it more with God, and and when I sat down to write down my notes, literally stuff just came flowing out of my head. And it may not have been the best message that I could have, spoken out, but also for one, I am new in this. This is maybe my second time bringing a word to the youth, and I'm not saying that just because you get a word from God, you're going to be excellent, extravagant, and fluent speaking your first time. I mean, it's a process you got to go through. You got to get through those nervous tics and all that stuff. But we're always going to have nervous jitters going up there. So anyone who is interested in the ministry, just know that God ain't going to leave you sitting there. He's going to give you something. He will give you something, and then whenever He gives you something, hang on to that word for a later time in life, wherever you may have to say it to someone else. So that's that. And then now this is where I want to mention a thing that I have been, an outlet that I have been using, not an outlet, a website that I've been using to expand on my ministry a little bit. It is called Ministry Central. My brother-in-law Justin is also using it. If you are wanting to launch your ministry, you have to just sign up. It's for free. You don't have to pay for anything just to sign up. Sign up is for free. And you just scroll down a little bit on the courses. It will show you, I believe at the right side of the page, it will say launch your ministry, and that's what I'm working on right now. That is just giving you a couple thoughts. It's like either 20-minute videos that is telling you about your walk with God, what you need to be focusing on in your ministry and all that stuff. And there's, I don't know how many courses there are in these, but that course is strictly free. Now there are some that you have to pay some money for, and you can also get your ministry license on there. You can get license through that thing, which is very awesome. I find that extremely cool. I never knew about this thing. My youth pastor recommended it to me, and he really has. The Lord really has been shown to me what I need to be doing in my life now. So this vlog now is what I just said earlier, either like a small devotion type vlog. If the Lord ever gives me a word I want to put on here, I want to put it on here. Don't worry, I'm not going to be preaching to anybody. It's just a thought, and this also is for me too. So this is what's so awesome about being in the ministry. God does not only speaks through you, but He speaks to you. So don't ever think that you're exempt from what God's telling you. Don't ever think that you're high above anyone that you're talking to, or preaching to, or teaching to. We all have to learn still ourselves, and that's one thing that I have had to learn. I was like, I need to learn to take these words that God is preaching or telling me to heart as well. I can't just go out here and just tell people how to live their lives and expect that God to be proud of me. It's like, no, He wants me to take it to heart too. You got to reap what you sow, and that's what I have done in the last message I preached to the youth. I really have been taking it to heart, and it's very awesome growing my ministry in this. And I know this video was kind of a long explanation, but just be looking forward to videos like this in the future. But don't worry, the regular vlogs are not going to be gone. I mean, I will be doing a fun vlog every now and again, but it'll more likely be videography shoots that I do for friends of mine. Like if you see, I will have, and if you've seen it before, I already did a shoot for my sister, for her photography business that she has, and it's called Picture This. I will have it right down here for you just to check out real quick. Go check that out. But I will be doing stuff like that as well, and maybe little skits on here from time to time. Matter of fact, I do have a skit that I did for my brother-in-law whenever he preached on conversations with God. He preached that a while back, and I did a video for him for his message so it can kind of set the tone. And I am going to upload this on here and give my brother-in-law some credit to what he said and what he preached. It was great what he said. I loved everything that he had to say about it, and it was great content, great thought. And it will be up in the next few days or so, be looking forward to that too. But anyway, I hope you all was able to stay to the end of this video and just listen to what I had to say here. My glasses are moving on my face. But anyway, I need to get some gas, so thank you guys. It still is a dream job for my okay. I got very convicted about spending too much time on it instead of spending too much. I cannot speak right now, and so I keep saying so a lot. So.